Inconsistently consistent.
Hello, and welcome to Inconsistently Consistent, the podcast where we definitely record on a schedule. I'm one of your hosts, Melanie.
The other host, Rachel. Yeah, we totally record on a schedule. We're so consistent with that. No, we're
Yeah,
not. We're terrible.
the inconsistent part doesn't make any sense
Mhm.
for the title because we're so consistent. That's how consistent we are.
Exactly.
At least we
Yeah,
named it correctly.
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Also,
there's no false advertising here.
fun little announcement. We're on YouTube now, so you can listen to us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I had a comment on one of our videos, which I brought me so much joy.
Mm-hmm.
Brought me so much joy. Did I send that to you?
No.
Okay, let me pull it up. I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna wait till we recorded, and I was gonna read it to you.
That's why. Sure.
Yeah. So. This person commented. This is on the unholy debate video, which is where we had my partner Khan on, and we decided if we were discussing if Jesus was a lich revenant or zombie.
And
This
pre-relationship.
This was pre-relationship. This was just when we were friends, and now we are no longer friends because we're boyfriend girlfriend.
We hate each other, but we love each other.
We hate love each other. We love to
But
hate
we're
each
not
other.
friends either.
But we're not friends. We just like for some reason we love each other but we're not friends at the same time.
But
So
we don't like each other.
it's a very weird dynamic.
It just came off so funny to me that we're not friends anymore.
I didn't realize it till after I said it how that sound that we're not friends.
We love each other, but we don't like each
But
other.
we don't like each other. Yeah, so this comment was on the unholy debate, and it's from user Maha.
Cool name.
So my brain immediately went Maha. Anyways, so they commented, okay, so I have no idea how I ended up here, but hearing about your Strahd D&D campaign was fun. And I guess I'll be your second subscriber. LOL.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I just subscribed. So
Hell yeah.
because I think it's a great thing. I don't know. I've never heard of this show before, but I thought I'd sign up.
Oh yeah. I also subscribed, even though I've never heard of the show before. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So give us a subscribe.
Yeah, give us a subscribe on YouTube. Just look up Inconsistently Consistent on YouTube, and yeah. You can listen to us there instead of if you prefer that over podcasting sites. Yeah, I had one of my friends. So the reason why I put us on YouTube is I had one of my friends ask if we were on YouTube because that's what she listens to podcasts on. So I was like, "Yee, I'll put us on YouTube." So
yeah, and I mean we already got one new listener, Maha. Welcome to the family. Once you get in, you can't get out. It's like Hotel California.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Like friendships. There are some friendships that you could check out anytime you like, but you could never leave. Like our friendship, because you know too much.
Yes, I do.
You can never leave because you know too much, and if you do, I will have to kill you.
And nobody wants to dig a hole. That's hard on your back and your knees, and we're old ladies now.
Exactly. We're old ladies. I started going back to the gym, so very sore old lady status. I don't know. And the thing is, I can't tell if this is helping my hip or making it worse for my hip flexor. So, yeah. Stay tuned for an update on my hip flexor issues.
Yeah, I've got hip flexor issues too. Mine are just shortened up all the time. So
Mm.
I consistently stretch them out. It's consistently, pretty much. Because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I forget a lot and then they start hurting and I'm like, oh, I think
Yeah.
I should
It's
do that.
only my right one. My left one is fine. My left knee is the bad one. It's only my right hip flexor. My right knee is good.
Hmm.
So I'm like perfectly balanced as all things should be when it comes to old lady injuries.
Yeah, one for each side.
Exactly. That's it. This is how it's supposed to be. You
Yeah.
can't have injuries on both sides because then you'll be off balance.
Hmm. I've considered going to the gym, but then I remember there's people there, so I try to
Mm,
work out at home.
that's fair.
But if I could find a gym where I didn't have to be around people, that would be excellent. But I don't have the money
I
to,
mean,
to
there
rent
are
a
these,
private gym.
you can make these thing called home gyms where you don't see anybody except yourself.
Yeah, I did actually buy a Pilates board. It's not here yet, but one of
Hmm.
those boards that has like the moving pieces of like
Ah,
so that
yes.
like you can do a lot of stuff on the ground.
Hmm.
Um, to try different stuff because I've got to find stuff that's really low impact
Hmm.
for me for my back, which swimming would be, but swimming fucks my back, and that's why I had to kind of quit training
Hmm.
competitive swimming and stuff as a teenager and then not do a lot of it as an adult.
Hmm.
Because I am an ex-lifeguard for those of the listeners that do not know.
Hmm.
I would rather be in the water, but it hurts me. I'm reverse Aquaman now.
Yeah. But this, in case you couldn't get from our little blurb, we're talking about friends today. Good friends, bad
Mhm.
friends, okay friends, neutral friends,
Friends
terrible
that you just
friends.
can't get rid of.
Yeah, toxic friends, friends that are in your life for life,
Friends that bring a shovel whenever you ask.
or a baseball bat.
Hmm.
But we found
Or,
some. Oh,
I was going to say, or they're your perfect alibi.
exactly. But we found some friend stories. The usual Reddit deep dive stuff,
Hmm.
and we're going to read them, and we're going to
Hmm.
react, and we're going to talk about them, and
Hmm.
judge the level of friendship because we have been friends for over a decade, almost 2 decades, and yeah.
No, we're not that old yet. Don't tell me this.
Melanie, it's been almost 2 decades. Okay, just
No.
accept it.
How? Where did the time go?
I don't know.
You know I have sleep issues. It's not like I slept away these amount of years.
I know.
I've been awake, and yet I don't recall how time has passed. Let me just have my existential crisis for a
You can
second.
have your existential crisis. I won't say that it will be 2 decades and 3 years. You can have your existential crisis.
Oh God. In 3 years. 17, Rachel. Our friendship's old enough to drive.
Yes, our friendship
And
is old
not
enough
just
to
a
drive.
learner's permit.
No,
A
they're old
full
enough to have their
license.
license. Their license with the restriction of you can't drive between 12 and 6.
Yeah. Our friendship no longer has a bedtime, but
Nope.
their car does.
Yep.
Okay. Give me a story.
All right. So, this one comes from the Too Hot Takes subreddit.
Mm.
And this was posted 9 months ago. And the title of this is Am I the Asshole for Ending a 6-Year Friendship on My Friend's Birthday?
Initial take, probably. Happy birthday. You're never seeing me again.
Happy birthday. I'm a nope the fuck out of your life.
Happy birthday. This will be the last one we'll share together.
Hmm. Happy birthday. It's not actually happy, so birthday.
Birthday piece.
Yeah. All right. So, Jane, female 22, fake name, and I, female 21, have been friends for 6 years since high school, or rookie numbers. I've always considered her my closest friend, almost like a soulmate. After high school, she got a scholarship abroad, but she didn't like the major or being away from home. She frequently complained about her situation, and whenever I tried to talk about my own struggles, she dismissed them, saying her situation was worse. When I switched to a more creative major and became happier, she made me feel guilty for being happy in front of her because she was still miserable.
Ugh.
Over time, our friendship became increasingly one sided. I'd always be there to support her, but she rarely reciprocated. Whenever she came home, I'd drop everything to spend time with her, even at the expense of my family and other friendships. She was generous with gifts and introduced me to her friends, but I often felt like she did these things to be the main character in our lives. Our group
Mm.
conversations often revolved around her, and she'd get upset if we talked about anything else. This summer has been particularly important for me as I'm catching up on my studies after changing majors. I've been doing internships, volunteer work, and extra courses. However, whenever I talk about my progress, she brushes it off, saying it makes her feel bad because she's having a graduate existential crisis. Recently, she's been going through a tough breakup and has been rude to all of us, excusing her behavior with claims that her life is too messy to entertain other people. What hurt me the most is she recently met a new girl named Ellen and started spending a lot of time with her. She's been shifting our plans to include Ellen or even exclude me, which has made me feel left out and hurt. While I understand she's going through a hard time, I'm starting to feel like our friendship has been more about her than about us.
Mm.
Here's where I might be the asshole. In the weeks leading up to Jane's birthday, she started ghosting me. Every time I reached out to check on her, she'd say she was busy or not in the mood to talk to people, but she mentioned she was talking with her new friend, Ellen. I'm not gonna lie, I got jealous, but I kept checking on her. After she ignored me for 3 days, she finally texted back on her birthday night. Here's how it went. Her. Sorry I didn't text you back. I've been so busy. My life is messy and I didn't have the energy to talk with people. Me. It's okay. That's what I thought too. Her. Well, okay. Thanks for asking, by the way. Me. What? You're the one who's been acting distant these last few weeks.
Vocal fry.
Her. Elaborate on distant.
Elaborate.
Me. Elaborate how I keep on reaching out to you and you ghost me or answer with the coldest responses. I don't even know what's going on in your life. Her. Well, you should have poked me more, then you'd know what's going on in my life. When she said that, I got so pissed and had enough.
Should
I
have
sent
what
a
her more?
should have poked her
Poked her?
poked her.
The fuck year is this? 2007?
This was 9 months ago, so 2024.
Who pokes people?
I think
Like,
she means like messaging like, hey, 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 hi, hey, hi, hey, hi, he, who, ha,
okay.
e, ooh, ah, ah.
Because, like, my mind went back to, like, the Facebook poking, and I was like, is that, first of all, even something you can still do
I have no idea.
outside of, like, when we were junior high and high school? It was all like, I poked you last night, and then I posted on your book message board, and
Can I poke you?
stop poking me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
Yeah. When she said that, I got so pissed and had enough. I sent a lot of voice notes and texts telling her everything that bothered me. I said things like, I respected your boundaries when you expressed that you didn't want to talk, so I respected that. I told her that in an adult friendship, you don't wait for me to poke you into talking or announce that you have to talk. I asked why she needed to make everything about herself. Her response was, well, I'm sorry I can't be the adult friend you want. I don't think in big terms like boundaries and adulting. Friendship is simple and you need a lot of understanding. I replied that I've been understanding and that I've dealt with a lot of her bullshit. She concluded that I'd already built up my version of events and that she had nothing more to say. But then she'd come back and say things that pissed me off. So I dropped the bomb and said, "Well, I don't want to be your friend anymore." She said, "That's it? We can't fix it?" I said, "Well, I was hoping we could, but being around you hurts me, and I feel like the friendship is one sided." She didn't reply, and this was on her birthday
Mm.
night. I admit that my timing was wrong. I used hurtful language, and I wonder if maybe, instead of lashing out, I should have asked her why she didn't have the energy to talk. Maybe she wouldn't
Mm.
be as mad at me. The next day, I woke up feeling so guilty. I found memories on my phone of us celebrating her past birthdays, and I felt awful. So I sent her a message saying I saw her memories, felt guilty, and wished her a happy birthday. I apologized, but she never replied.
Mm.
Then her friends added me to a group chat, and I gathered they were planning a surprise for her.
Mhm.
Ellen was planning everything, but Jane wasn't picking up her phone, so they didn't know what to do next. Honestly, I got mad and decided to drive to her house before any of them went to see her. I sent a text in the group chat saying that Jane and I had a fight and I was going to her house to update them on her so they could continue planning.
Mhm.
Ellen responded, "I don't think I should get involved. You know her better than I do, but if you go, don't talk about your fight, guys. It's her birthday, and I don't know if you're aware, but she's been going through a rough patch. You'll make her sad and ruin my plan."
Mhm.
I said I wouldn't ruin her plan. I was just going to apologize, and what we talk about doesn't concern her.
Mhm.
When I drove to Jane's house, her mom opened the door and said that Jane was out and she didn't know where she was. I know for a fact that wouldn't happen. Jane and her mom are close, and she knows everything about her. I told her mom I drove there to talk, and she
Mhm.
said, "Well, too bad," and
Mm.
closed the door in my face. I got back in the car and texted the chat that Jane wasn't home. Ellen
Mhm.
said, "Well, I talked to her on the phone. I think she's getting her hair done." I thought, "Didn't you say you didn't know where she is?" Ellen replied, "Well, we talked in the morning. She mentioned she had a fight with you, but didn't tell me any details. I hope you didn't upset her more than she's already upset." I went to the hair salon and asked about Jane. Her stylist said I just missed her. I went back to her house and knocked on the door for too long. I called and sent
Mm.
texts saying I knew she was home. Her mom opened the door again and said, "She's not here. Go home." Honestly, that broke me. I got back to the car, cried for a while, and drove home. I sent Jane a message saying, "Okay, I get it." Now, I don't regret what I said and that I stood up for myself, but the way she handled me coming to her house to apologize personally really hurt me. I wasn't even going to join her birthday plans. I just wanted to apologize and give her space. I didn't want to make her birthday about me. I know saying I don't want to be your friend anymore hurt her because it means she can't take me for granted anymore. But if that's what I had to do, then fuck it. I admit the timing and the way I said things passionately were awful. I know we'll never be friends again, and I have to live with the consequences of my own action. But I'm living with a big void now. I'm confused. Sometimes I'm relieved. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I think about her version of events and realize I'm probably the asshole in her eyes, and it saddens me that a 6-year friendship ended like this.
Mm. That's the end of it?
That's the end of it.
Oh my. That's a
Mhm.
roller coaster.
Mhm.
That right there, like, I liked the posters, like, she's like looking at all the angles of
Mhm.
things and realizing that she did fuck up in some ways,
Mhm.
right? Like, there's no clear, like, good versus evil here,
Yeah.
right? Nobody's 100% in the right, nobody's 100% in the wrong, in my take,
Mhm.
right? Everybody fucked up a little bit. I think you could have waited to not on her birthday
Yeah.
and maybe even like after the blow up had happened on her birthday when she was told like, hey, we're trying to plan something for her birthday but she's not responding, and she tries to go over to apologize but like she gets a clear like shut down, like she knows
Yeah.
her mom wasn't being honest with her the first time she went there. She could
Yeah.
have just like held off, waited till like after the plans were for the birthday,
Mhm.
like the day after, and just like reached out and been like, I really would like to apologize and talk things out, see if we could fix things.
Yeah, exactly. I think doing it on the birthday
Mhm.
was a shitty thing to do because, like,
Mhm.
you don't want to, especially if they've been going through a hard time and they want to just not think about it for a day. Doing it on a birthday is not a good, or any sort of major event is like not a good idea because then you're going to just sour the mood for the
Mhm.
rest of the day for that person.
Yeah, and it can also like sour it for like years.
Mhm.
So like if you get broken up with on your birthday,
Mhm.
you're going to kind of remember that you got broken up with on your birthday every
Yeah,
year when your birthday comes
exactly.
around, right? It's like those like monumental days of like at like big occasions. You remember those things, right? Whether you like if it was like the second Tuesday in November,
Mhm.
you're not going to remember, oh, well, every second Tuesday in November, I'm remembering this, right? Like you're not remembering it like that typically,
Yeah.
unless it's like a huge traumatic event kind of thing.
Mhm.
But the day doesn't really have such significance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna have a take, like hardcore, but no, this is up and down.
Yeah, it really is.
Mhm. One
It's
thing,
funny because, like,
mhm,
I'm kind of going through a similar thing with some of my friends right now, so it's very, like, up and down a lot of the time.
hmm, which side of it, if you don't mind me asking?
What do you mean?
Are you in the I'm going through a tough time part or the my friend is going through a tough time part?
Um, I think I kind of went through a little bit of a rough patch, and we can talk about
Mm,
that off the air because I don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
want to air. But I went through a bit of a rough patch, kind of end of mid-April ish
Mm,
thing. So yeah, and also just the fact that I had been feeling that some of my friends were, um, not. It was one of those things where I noticed that some of my friends were doing things together and I was not receiving an invite. And
oh,
I had mentioned it to one of them and we talked about it and I thought we kind of, you know,
mhm,
figured it out or whatever. Um was still happening. And I kind of got to the point where I felt like it was deliberate. So
yeah.
I just, I kind of did the thing of taking them off Instagram, and one of them messaged about it and texted me about it, and I was just like, yeah, I just need some space and to think about some things.
Mhm, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I'm always here.
I know you are.
Mhm. Back to podcast stuff though.
Back to podcast stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing, like the first part of the story, when you were talking about like how like the poster didn't feel like she could talk about the like good things going for her
Mhm.
with her friend, and her friend wasn't like would get upset if she talked about
Mhm.
that because her friend was having struggle stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I thought of originally, and this is a good thing. Let me put this, not bearing the lead here, but like remember when like I got into law school and you didn't
Mhm.
and you were
Yes.
struggling with that.
Yeah.
I have so much goddamn respect for you, Rachel, because you were not having a good time with it, right?
Mhm.
You were trying and you weren't getting what you wanted out of it,
Mhm.
right? And I got it so easily.
Mhm.
And I have so much respect and love for you because you did not, like, I was worried, like, should I hold back things? Because I
Mhm.
didn't want to make you feel upset about that, right? Like, I was
Mhm.
like rubbing it in your face, but like, you were so fucking supportive, even though, you know, I
Mhm.
did something that you were wanting to do and you couldn't do it at the time,
Mhm.
right? So, like, I just love you. That's all I want to
Oh, thank you. But I'm not gonna like as shitty as it was that I didn't get in, like I was
Mhm.
very happy that you got in.
Mhm.
And like it sucked. But yeah, I mean, obviously wasn't meant to be.
Because you're meant to be a therapist.
Yes, if I can get a fucking job as a therapist. I just got another rejection, so we'll see.
I've had like 45 rejections in my latest job search. So don't worry, it will come.
I have an interview this afternoon actually with another clinic.
Mhm.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
It will come. The right job will find you. We just have to get a shit ton of rejections along the way until we
Yeah.
find the right fit.
Yeah.
Oh, let's switch it up.
Yeah.
Let me get a story here.
Yes.
I I love this title
Hmm.
because it already brings something up in me. So it's an
Okay.
am I the asshole for
Hmm.
telling my friend his physical standards are why he's single? Right?
Okay.
I
I'm
read the
here for the
title.
I'm here for this title.
I read the title and I didn't even read any other part of it when I was gathering it for this
Hmm.
podcast episode because I was like, I don't want to know what's happening, but that
Hmm.
title says enough that there's going to be something. Something's going to piss us off. Oh, okay. I, 22 male, have a friend, 22 male, who has never had a girlfriend or romantic experience. Now, let me say that I actually really like him as a person, and I think he has positive qualities. He has a solid job making 180K a year with a company car as a surgical device sales rep at 22 after graduating magna cum laude. I still don't know what that means.
I think that means like top of your class or something like that.
We took Latin.
Yeah, we did. Do
Yeah.
you think we remember any of that? No.
Mm,
It was like 10 years ago we took Latin, Melanie.
I know if it talks about battles or love
Or
or wolves,
wolves.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I know. And I can decline a noun and
Mhm.
conjugate a verb.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he's generally affable and easy to talk to. If his standards were just educated and good person, I would totally support it as I think that's reasonable. However, physically, and I know I'm being brutal here, he is not a catch.
Yes. Tell it how it is. Tear your friend down.
Online to
Tear your
thousands of
friend down online.
strangers.
Let's do it.
This was posted 2 years, and I don't know if it's a throwaway account. I really hope he did it on a throwaway account
Mhm.
that his friend wouldn't see. Okay, so he's not a catch. He already has a significantly receded hairline. His fate, his face is quite frankly below average. I'm so glad I didn't read this before I read it out loud. He's of below average height and he's not in amazing shape. I believe he has a distorted view because his parents constantly told him he was very handsome and could get any girl. As a result, he is exclusively interested in women who are not just successful, but are also exceptionally gorgeous. A woman who said she just graduated from an Ivy League and was a tech sales rep was flirting with him at a bar. Though she was nice and clearly quite intelligent, and again, I know I'm being brutal here, she was not very attractive. When she asked for his number, he politely declined. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, I mean, she seems like a nice person, but she's definitely not in my league. Ew.
Mm.
I bit my tongue. the next week he came to me upset and told me that a woman that he had a cooking class with rejected him. Suspecting the reason why, I asked him to show me a picture of her from social media. Sure enough, she was insanely attractive and in marketing at a big company. I just tried to sympathize. Later, I thought long and hard about it. On the other hand, I didn't want to be mean, but on the other, this has been occurring since freshman year of high school. He's now the last person in the friend group to be single and completely missed out on dating in high school and college. Say what you will, but I think that romance is important for the vast majority of people. And I also think physical attraction is a foundational aspect of relationships unless you're both ace. He could easily be in a relationship if he got over his obsession with beauty. So after rehearsing what I wanted to say, I decided to sit him down and I told him, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think you should lower your physical standards. You would have way more options. He protested and said that his standards were reasonable because he's a good looking guy. I said, I hate to say it, but your approach of only going after beautiful and successful women has not worked out. Feel free to shoot your shot, but I think you should also consider women that are nice/smart but less physically attractive. I recommended he go to therapy about this. He got angry and has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since. 8 days. Am I the asshole?
No. No, not at all.
Yeah. Buddy, a little delusional.
Yeah. So it sounds like this person is like this person comes off very shallow, you know? And it's just um he's like, "Oh no, I only want to date like models." And it's like, "Okay, but, you're basing their value as a partner based on their looks and not what they have to offer, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, what do you have to offer? You're fucking
Yeah.
23 with a receding hairline.
Like, yeah, you've got money, you've got a great job, you've got things that are purchased through money, but you know what? You don't have to be super physically attractive.
No.
You just need a good personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, he might not be up to standard, like your conventional attractive ideas, right? Ideals. But
Yeah.
like, why are you getting turned down so often by these women? I think much of it could be the personality
Yeah.
as well, right? And like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is getting to whole like a women are the problem
Mhm.
stance with him, and I worry that he's gonna go like full incel.
Yeah, he's giving me why won't women date me? I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that kind of thing.
That's the vibe I'm getting,
hmm
you know?
Yeah, like she's definitely not in my league thing.
Mhm.
I mean, fuck the leagues. This isn't
Yeah.
baseball, right? You're not up in the majors swinging for the fences. Nobody like gave you the salary to bet on the Blue Jays or some fucking
Mhm.
team, right?
It's like, it's
Just
great that you
people.
make a bunch of money. That's great, but like,
hmm
money, if you're looking for like a certain type of person, you're going to find a certain type of person that's only going to want to date you because you have money.
hmm
And it's
What to
just,
me? Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's just, and those people aren't going to be genuine. Like, if you want a
hmm
genuine connection, you want to find someone who, maybe they're not like the 10 bombshell that you want. Maybe they're like a 7, but maybe their personality makes them a 10, you know?
hmm
Like me, my personality makes me a 10.
Like, have some personality.
hmm
But like to me, the fact that he's making this amount of money he's got this stable job. He's that young. He's 22 making that amount of money.
Yeah.
Got a car, probably a house or like a good apartment with making that much money. He probably have all the cool toys and gadgets he wants of different kinds.
Yeah.
So, and he's in sales, right? He's a surgical device sales rep. So he's in sales. So he should know how to sell to people.
Wait, is this Dave from Love Is Blind?
It could be. Could be his younger brother.
Maybe does he have a younger brother also in medical sales?
Right? Like if you're in sales, you should be able to sell things like yourself. So like if I don't mean like sell yourself, but like if you're like talking to someone, you can sell yourself with that the way you sell an item. You can say like, "Hey, I've got all this great things going for me. My life is like this, right? I like to do this and this, right?" Like you should be able to interact with people in sales. Like you should have good social skills. So
Yeah.
why can't he get a date?
I'm wondering how he's also approaching the women. Is he walking up like, lady, I make 6 figures and you are very voluptuous in all the right places. Would you like to go on a date with me? is that how he's approaching them?
I don't know. I get the vibe that he's standing back and waiting for the fish to come to him when he's fishing, right? And hoping they'll just jump out of the water and land in his basket. Right? Like
I like
boy,
that.
don't
That's a
even
good
bring a
metaphor.
rod to fish.
He has a basket. He stands at the edge of the river with a basket.
A basket, little fold-out chair, and a beer, and goes, "Why is there nothing in there?"
With a fedora. Milady, would you like to jump in my basket?
Milady, why didn't you jump in my basket? I don't
Milady, what's wrong with my
understand.
basket? My basket is quite large.
I did nothing, but I hope you go in there. Right?
Yep.
Right? It just seems like I get the vibe, the way the friend is telling this, that Buddy is just sitting back, not like, I want something, so I'm going to go out and get it, which is so opposite to me for like, if you're in sales, you have like a high commission base to your salary, right? That is not 180K salary, no matter if he sells one
No.
item or like 25,000,
Yeah.
right?
His base is probably like, if I'm gonna guess, I'd probably say 60,000 maybe. And then the rest is probably plus commission.
There's some sales jobs that are just purely commission. Right? So he, like, you have to be a go-getter, hustle, hustle, hustle kind of person to do well in sales. So why is his friend describing him like he just sits back and like, bring in the next subject while I sit here and eat grape?
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'm gonna just sit here and you're gonna bring in the ladies for me to oogle with my man eyes.
I think it goes back to like his parents told him he was handsome and he could get any girl. Could get any girl? That doesn't sound like good standards to teach your son. Like treat women with respect, like interact with them as human beings. That's like you'll get them. Like I think that's a little weird for a parent to tell a son. You'll get any girl. Don't worry about it.
It's like, I equate it to sometimes you need to tell people their baby is ugly. Because not all babies are cute, okay? I'm gonna put this out there as a PSA. Not all babies are cute. I've seen some ugly babies. And you can't go around being like, oh yeah, your baby's cute. I mean, people might look at you weird if you go, nah, that baby's ugly. But like, sometimes you just gotta say that the baby's ugly. And sometimes you gotta look your friend in the eye and go, you offer nothing because you're approaching them as an incel.
I think that was the biggest thing. Like, let's not beat down his self-confidence for
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
physical specimen he thinks he is. It doesn't matter. Like, the physical, like, how he looks does not matter if he is a decent human being. He
Hmm.
treats people with kindness and respect, and he works on himself and has a decent personality. The
Hmm.
physical, like, everybody can put on nice clothing, right? Can style themselves well, can,
Hmm.
make sure they are hygienic and stuff, and eat
Yeah.
well as you can, right? Take care of yourself. It doesn't matter that you're like, oh, he's no The Rock,
Hmm.
right? A famous guy who's bald right now,
Hmm.
right? This receding hairline. Fuck that. There's lots of attractive bald people,
Yeah.
right? I feel like there's always going to be someone for everybody. Like,
Hmm.
at least someone is out there that's going to go, damn, that person is attractive. If you take care of yourself, that you don't show up like, I haven't showered in 7 days,
Hmm.
right? What's deodorant? I don't do that.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
What soap?
But
I just use my 5-in-1 shampoo all over my body.
I just grab some mud from outside and rub it all over me.
I have some dirt in
My
it.
family calls me Pig Boy. Uh, I drink from a trough.
Oink oink, motherfucker.
Right? Like, there's someone out there, but I feel like
Mhm.
the biggest thing to me is like, he's just not. Well, the whole question is whether the poster is the asshole. We went down a whole different route.
I mean, I don't think they're the asshole.
I don't think they're the asshole either. I
No.
just think maybe maybe that conversation could have been handled a little better rather than kind
Mhm.
of sit down the guy and tell him, dude, you're not attractive.
Yeah. You could have handled it better instead of just looking him in his eyes and be like, "Listen here, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
You
like
ain't got shit to give anybody.
you have nothing.
You
You
have
are
nothing.
worthless. Want to go to the
You
movies, bud?
you want to go watch Lilo and Stitch, my guy?"
We're still friends, right? Even though I just told you
Mhm.
you have nothing to offer anyone.
Yeah. We're still good though, right? We're gonna go to that concert. Like we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think you need mental help, but like, do you want to go to the movies?
You want to go to the bar? Maybe we can find you some girl at the bar.
Who also needs mental help?
Listen, some men like the mentally unstable ones.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't say there's anything wrong with it. I just say, like,
Mhm.
talking to your friend like that.
Yeah.
This is probably not the best thing to like get him to understand.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I laughed my ass off through that. Oh, what was it that really got us? I know I'm being brutal here, but he is not a catch.
Yeah, he's not a catch.
His face is quite frankly below average.
It
The guy was trying to be so respectful, attempting to, but it's
didn't
comical.
it didn't work. It didn't work.
Mm.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This is another one from Two Hot Takes.
Hmm.
My boy best friend just ruined our friendship and his relationship. Just
Mm.
let that sink in a little bit.
Just ruined our friendship and the relationship.
And his relationship.
Ooh. Yeah, so he fucked up twice.
He did. I, female 19, and my boy best friend Jake, male 19, have been friends for over 7 years. Naturally, we are super close and I see him as a brother. Him and his girlfriend, female 19, have been dating for around 3 years and I love her. She's
Hmm.
an amazing girl and we get along great. I
Okay, so
do,
love like we're friendly, not love
yes,
like I love her, I want
not
her.
secret lesbian lovers, no.
Oh, I thought this was a man. The poster.
No, it's a woman who posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have ADHD.
I know. I do think Jake has a crush on me, has had a crush on me before he met his girlfriend, but it's never caused any issues or tension. And in the past, that's a weird way to end a sentence, but anyways.
Mhm.
Jake left to go traveling a few months ago and will be back in around a month. We were catching up on FaceTime last night when I got a weird feeling and hung up.
Hmm.
He was masturbating on the phone to me. Just gonna let that sink
What
in. I'm gonna let that sink
the
in.
fuck? Not okay.
I could fully see his face as he did it. He was moaning, asking me to wait and hold on, as I could see his arm was moving off screen. I hung up as soon as I realized and felt so sick that my friend would do that. Part of
Yeah.
me part of me still doesn't really believe it and wants to think I'm wrong, but I'm not stupid.
Mhm.
I've had guys do this to me before and they'd normally get blocked immediately, but this is my best friend, so I don't know what to do. Thinking back now, I'm not sure this is the first time. I kind of blocked it out of my memory, but on our call before this latest one, I heard some weird noises from his end. His camera
Mhm.
was off, so I couldn't be sure, but I hung up anyways. He tried calling me back a few times, but I ignored it and spoke to a friend about what to do. I tried to confront him, but was left undelivered. Guilty conscience because he was online. I also
Mhm.
messaged his girlfriend because she deserves to know. This whole situation has left me with a pit in my stomach. I feel so sorry for his girlfriend and myself, and I'm mad and confused because what the actual fucked? It's always the
Mhm.
ones you least expect.
Jesus. 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 He needs
Hmm.
Jesus. Send me to Jesus.
He does. He needs to go to the ranch. Making a Dr. Phil reference. Go to the ranch,
And
son.
not Hidden Valley one.
Not the Hidden Valley Ranch. You go straight to the ranch.
Oh my God. That. No. No. There was no. That was non-consensual,
Yeah.
right? That's like the thing of like if somebody's like gonna masturbate out in public, nobody
Hmm.
consented to be involved in that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She did not know this was happening. He did not go like, "Hey, let's do this on the phone together," or "I want to do this." It's like he's just secretly doing this.
Hmm.
And dude's getting that like brazen about it that he's doing it with the camera on now, right? Because she said like the
Yeah.
time before she thinks he might have like looking back on it, the
Hmm.
camera was off. Dude's fucking ballsy in a bad way. I would.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm fuming.
Like, can you imagine just
Unfortunately, yes.
wanting to have a conversation with a friend,
Hmm.
casual catch up because they're away? Like, okay, imagine if like we did this to each other. If we're talking on the phone and we're just like, oh man.
I'm just like, so I had a really hard day at work, and you're like, yeah, yeah, tell me more.
Yeah, you close, you close.
I'm like, close to what? I was telling you about my day at work. What are you doing?
Like, I cannot imagine the balls on this man to just be like, I'm gonna masturbate to your face while you're telling me about your shitty day at work and what Janet in HR said to you.
Yeah,
Like, that's not a turn on. Hearing
no.
about Janet and HR complain about stuff. Like, imagine you're just like, yeah, and Janet once again got angry because somebody ate her cottage cheese, and he's just like, oh, don't stop.
Yeah, like imagine this though. So like let's just take this for a second about
Hmm.
what kind of topics could come up while this is happening.
Hmm.
She could start be like, "Oh, your mom called me the other day and gave me that recipe for muffins." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Like you're in the middle of that and she's talking about her nice conversation with your mother.
Yeah, she gave me the recipe for these blueberry muffins, and they're very moist. Yeah, they're moist.
Talk more about my mom's muffins.
Talk more about the moist muffins.
My mother is a lovely woman and I respect her. Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's just fucking unhinged is what that is.
Yeah. This is, I hope she cut him out of her life. I hope his girlfriend broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope somebody put a chastity belt on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the comments were like, block him. Just block him and move on. Block him and move on. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that.
Call his
Block
mother.
him.
Call
Tell his
mother.
mom. Tell his mom what your son was doing and be like, did you raise your son to jork off to his friends on FaceTime?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Now give me the muffin recipe.
Linda, the muffins were amazing. I tried them. But your son is an asshole.
Your son is disgusted.
Yeah, do something about him. Whatever magic you work with those muffins, fix this guy. Shoot him up with yeast or something.
Shoot him up with yeast.
I don't know. I don't make muffins from scratch.
You don't put yeast in muffins, Melanie.
How do they rise?
They rise with baking soda / powder.
Now I know. I won't make that mistake when I don't bake things
when
from
you
scratch.
never bake muffins ever.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Why are men? Just why are men?
Yeah.
What's wrong with them?
Why
Who hurt this man? Who fucked him
are
up?
men?
I think it's I blame the internet.
Yeah.
I also blame men.
Yeah.
Men plus internet equal bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. You picked a hot button one.
Yup. I saw that and I was like I said, I scanned it and I saw the moaning and I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's like there's no not like am I the asshole to this, but I would also just like to put in that she's not an asshole and he is absolutely an asshole.
Oh, 100% he's an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it in your pants, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Not just off screen. Keep it in your pants.
Just keep it in your pants in general.
Like, if he wanted to get off the call and then go do that, that's already not great because that is your friend and you were in a relationship with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been the most respectful way that he could have still done that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would not have hurt anybody else. Except potentially the girlfriend if she ever found out.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to go about it this way. I think he's got like a exhibitionist fetish or something there with that.
He might, yeah.
Right? Because some people are really into that. Could get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And will go way too public about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see an issue with that kind of thing as long as you're like not doing something that somebody else should be consenting to and you're not letting them know about it to consent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got, I feel like we should have just one more and then we'll finish it off because this is probably going to get long.
Oh, okay.
Or are you thinking more?
I mean, we'll see how long this is.
Yeah, I've got two that I'm bouncing back, trying to decide which one I want to use. Okay, let's go with this.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend that most women would not marry him and mocking his minimum wage job?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
That is the sound I wanted. I wanted the reaction.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a heated one
Okay.
already. Okay. So, I am a short guy, around 5'4", 5'5", in my 30s. My friend Ian is around 6'1". I'd met him sometime back at an event, and although he's really good looking, he works as a waiter at a restaurant. On the other hand, I make quite a lot, to put it mildly. Ian has a girlfriend, Julia. We were hanging out at his place yesterday along with some of his other friends. I am a teetotaler? Are you 75? Who says teetotaler?
The fuck is a teetotaler?
I don't know, but I'm sure like our grandparents would know.
Mm-hmm.
There, look up teetotaler. A person who never drinks alcohol. It's British English.
Oh, it's a British-ism. I
It's a
gotcha.
British one. So I guess he's 75 and American, or,
Mm-hmm.
just a 20-something-year-old British person.
Yeah, okay.
Same
Got it.
vocabulary.
Yeah, same thing basically.
Yeah. Just less wrinkles.
Yeah. Or more. Who knows? Maybe they bathe. Not bathe. Sunbathe. That's what I meant to say. Maybe they tan. Who knows?
Maybe they bathe.
I mean, maybe they bathe as well and they're wrinkly from all the time they spend in the bathwater. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe they marinate.
Maybe they cook. Who knows?
Okay. I am a teetotaler and absolutely loathe alcohol. But the others were getting drunk and began to make jokes, in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
One of the jokes was about how short I was, and am still single. Ian said, "Dude, I am not surprised you were still single. You are really short, and most women would pass on you immediately." That's in quotation marks.
Okay.
Direct quote.
Okay.
The others laughed, including Julia. I was
Mm.
momentarily startled, but then snapped. At least I don't struggle to make ends meet and work a minimum wage job. I added, most women won't consider you marriage material, by the way. Ian got extremely mad and began to argue with me, and so did the others. We had a huge verbal sparring. I asked him to fuck off, and in the end left the place. I asked him to fuck off, or asked them to fuck off. I don't often ask people to fuck off. I tell
But
them.
when I do,
But when I do, I tell them.
yeah.
I don't ask. It's not a question. It's fuck off? Question
Mm-hmm.
mark. It's fuck off. Anyway, thoughts?
Huh. That's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it the asshole?
uh,
I know.
I'd
It's
say,
short and sweet.
I'd
Potentially like
say,
this guy.
I'd say everyone sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like one asshole. I think everybody's a bit of an asshole because like there's nothing to snuff at for a minimum wage job. Like you got to do what you got to do to pay the bills.
hmm
But also like don't make fun of your friend for being short.
Yeah.
Some people like short kings.
hmm Some people like short kings. And also, height is like a big thing for
Hmm.
men, right? Like,
Hmm.
if he's 5'4" to 5'5", he's
Hmm.
already saying 5'4" to 5'5" because he
Hmm.
won't say 5'4", right? If he's 5'4" and a quarter, he's 5'4"
Hmm.
to me. Like, you don't round up.
Yeah.
So to me, like, men can be so like sensitive
Hmm.
about the height thing, right? So like, why make a joke about somebody, and they're all making jokes
Hmm.
according to this, all drunk and making jokes at the bar to and about this guy, right? He's probably not comfy with that already, and he gets
Yeah.
defensive.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but also don't cut that guy where it hurts. He might be like, we don't know what Julia does for a living. Julia could be like a neurosurgeon for all we know.
Yeah.
right? And maybe that fact that like he makes less than her bothers him.
Yeah, because it's so strange to me. I say this as someone who's a therapist now because I finished my master's. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
little subtle brag. Um,
Officially a therapist.
officially a therapist. But it's so interesting to me what, like, I think men in particular, like male presenting people, will
Mm-hmm.
cling on as insecurities. Like you said, there are men who are very insecure about their height. There are men who are insecure if like their partner makes more than them. There are men
Mm-hmm.
who are insecure about like a certain part of their body, or
Yep.
they're insecure
Size.
size, they're insecure
Mm-hmm.
about, I'm trying to think what else men would be insecure about. They could be insecure about like their car and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that is a bone of contention with him and Julia's
Intelligence,
relationship.
I find.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yeah. If they're like their partner or somebody else is like, I say in quotes, smarter than them or has like a
Mhm.
really like that kind of job, which is very
Mhm.
like, or like degrees and stuff. Sometimes
Mhm.
men, like I find it practicing law, some men come in and they can be very defensive. Like they're trying to prove to me that they're very smart and that they've got
Mhm.
degrees and stuff too, right? And they've done that.
Mhm.
Like they come in and start the conversation and it has nothing to do with what they're coming to see me for, with like telling me that they're highly educated and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I didn't ask, right?
It's
Like,
like,
I'm here asking what's your ex partner's name and like, how long you're married. Because we're
cool.
talking about your divorce. I don't need to
Yeah.
know that you've got like 17 degrees hanging up on your wall.
It's like, cool story, bro. Anyway, so about your divorce.
Yeah, like about this, we're talking about do you want the kids in a week
Mhm.
for week arrangement? And he's like, I'm
Mhm.
really educated. Okay, I could do this myself.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I didn't ask. But like it really astounds me on that.
Mhm. Yeah,
But it's
it's very
everybody can be insecure.
it is, but it's
Hmm.
very like those things are common for some reason
Hmm.
with
Those are the
men.
biggest ones I see.
Yeah. And it's just so interesting that some men will just kind of, and like I dated someone who was insecure about that stuff and didn't like the fact that I was the breadwinner in a sense.
Hmm.
And you know, I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast, or I might have told um some friends, but when we went out to dinner one day, um and we had ordered garlic fingers, and they come with donair sauce for dipping. When we were sitting at the table and the waiter brought the garlic fingers out and the sauce out, the waiter put the sauce down in front of me and said, "I'm going to put this here because it's obvious you wear the pants in the relationship."
Ugh, yeah, like comments like that are not going to help anyone's insecurity.
No, he did not take that well at all.
No, I would not expect it. And like for me, I may have come with like a whole lot of student debt because I had to put myself through 7 years of university,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But like I have been making more than everybody I've ever even been on a date with,
Mhm.
right? So I have never been in a situation where I was the lower income person
Mhm.
in a relationship or even on a date. So I don't know what that's like from
Yeah.
that end, but I know there have been a lot of men that I have like even like chatted with on Tinder that like were insecure about telling me that their
Mhm.
job didn't give them as much money or like some actually would not even talk to me after they found out what I did for a living, like, and that they made less. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, you're just like, okay, that's that big an issue for you.
Yeah. And it's it's refreshing to have a partner now who is like very okay with the fact that he knows that I'm going to make more money than him. Like he's totally fine with it.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
over here, like, I said, it's fine. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I said your real name on the podcast. Bite me. But he's
His
over.
name is.
But he's over here like, hell yeah. I like the fact you're gonna be the breadwinner. You're gonna be strong. You're gonna buy me my Lego sets that I want. You know that meme where it's like, you've seen that meme going around where it's Kate. Oh my god, what's her name? She plays Hela in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I don't know the
I
name.
can't remember the name. It's Kate something, but I've got her
Mhm.
name gone. She's in Lord of the Rings as well. But
Mhm.
she's standing there dressed up in her Hela costume, and the director's next to her, and it's like
Mhm.
me asking my CEO wife if I can get the Lego set that I want. And like me and have made that joke to each other. I'm like, you're gonna come to me and be like, honey, can I get these new Warhammer 40K figurines? So it's
Uh,
nice to have someone that's not intimidated by that.
mhm. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand where some of these, like, I shouldn't say I don't understand where they come from. I
Mhm.
know where they come from is the
Mhm.
traditional gender role bullshit,
Mhm.
right? Ugh, I just hate that traditional stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like, traditions are okay for me,
Mhm.
but like when you're like forcing them onto somebody
Mhm.
that has not consented to it, and then they create this like these in like widespread insecurities that like it's just icky.
Mhm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
I
It's
think
just
everybody's the asshole
yeah.
in this one,
Mhm.
right? Everybody's making comments they shouldn't be making.
Yeah, everybody's being jerks.
Mhm.
I do have one more that I want to read just because I saw the
Mhm.
title and I was like, Melanie's going to get a kick out of this.
Okay.
All right, so this is the title.
Mhm.
Am I wrong for not wanting to talk to my friend who told my family that I was having sex with my boyfriend?
Probably. I mean, probably not.
Mhm.
That is. I need to hear this.
All right. So I, 21 female, come from a very religious Christian family who does believe that sex
Oh.
before marriage is wrong.
Oh no. Oh
Therefore,
no.
I did not tell my family when I started sleeping with my boyfriend, who I'd been dating at the time for about a year.
Mhm.
He is incredible. We are still together, and for reference, he is 24. Me and my family love him. Back to
Mhm.
the story. My friend is about 25 female. I met with to hang out for a bit. While hanging out, she asked me how things were going with my boyfriend. She also asked if we were sleeping together. Since my family is so religious and I don't have very many friends, I hadn't told anyone about it. I also never
Mhm.
talked to anyone really regarding sexual intimacy.
Mhm.
Since this friend is married and a few years older than me, I opened up and told her the truth, but I also asked her not to share anything with my family.
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
there. She
yeah,
told her to keep her
yeah,
mouth fucking shut.
yeah. While skip forward 6 months, she's also friends with my family. She met with my sister, and my sister told my parents. My boyfriend and I went to have dinner with my parents, unaware they knew, right before dinner, and they opened the whole can of worms. I was in tears.
Oh God.
My family had recently been through a lot. I felt like I let them down by sleeping with my boyfriend.
Mhm.
Now, a year later, at my brother's wedding, she came up to me and asked if we could talk. She apologized and asked me to forgive her. This needs punctuation. This needs punctuation work badly. It's
Oh.
She was in tears, told me she was struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts. I said I forgived her and we could start over and maybe meet for coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I said, and I know my sister is also to be held accountable, and I'm worried about her. But I still feel hurt, and I really don't want to see her right now. I don't know what to do. Sorry for the long post. I was just trying to explain it as well as I could. Edit.
Mm.
So my sister found out that her husband was having an affair with someone that my family is very close to. Close as in someone related to my family while she was
Mm-hmm.
pregnant.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
She had moved back with my parents to get space from her husband. Part of the reason why I really don't want to cut my sister off.
Mm-hmm.
However, when my sister and my friend had met, my sister specifically asked if she knew if we were sleeping together. I know I never asked my friend to lie for me, but I did ask her not to tell, like it was
Mm-hmm.
inevitable my family was going to find out eventually. But
Mm-hmm.
couldn't she have said something more like it's not my place to say or something? And I'm mad and angry at my sister too, but she had been through a lot and I still wanted to support her. It's been about a year now and she's never apologized, and we usually just avoid the topic. When I saw my friend recently, I always knew that she struggled with depression, but I do wonder if she used it as a ploy to get back in my good graces, so to say. And honestly, I'm still really angry at her, even though she's the one that apologized. My sister never has. I'm sorry if this
Mm-hmm.
is messy. I tried to write it out as best I could. My family is really complicated and I do love and care about them deeply. I really thought this friend was my friend and I just feel hurt and I really don't want to meet her. And I told her that I could. Would I be wrong to say no if she reaches out? Oh, they
Yeah,
use
that is
voice
a
to text.
whole.
They use voice to text. That's why there's no
Oh,
proper
okay.
punctuation. Okay.
Yeah, that is a whole can of worms. That is a can of worms inside of a can of
Mm,
worms. The Russian nesting doll of cans of worms.
is.
Holy shit. Well, first of all, I don't think you should tell somebody you're going to meet them for coffee if you're not going to do it,
No.
right? Like, if you didn't want to make that decision there, or you just wanted her to get away, just be like, can we just talk about this, like, later,
Yeah.
right? Easy enough to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that she kind of put that expectation to that person and then, like,
Hmm.
wasn't even planning to go, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, sister needs to know when to shut her mouth, too.
Hmm.
I get the whole, like, super religious thing, right? As I've
Yeah.
said, my family is very Catholic. And honestly, I would not even tell them right now
Hmm.
that that's going on in my relationship, right? Like, obviously, they can probably put two and two together
Yeah.
if, that's happening. Like, someone is staying at my house for periods of time, right? And I'm going to his place for periods of time.
Hmm.
So, but like, that's different, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just nobody's specifically saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that she broke that confidence.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing for me is kind of like a trust thing with friends. Like if you say something to your friend and you're like, promise you're not going to tell anyone. Like, take
Mm-hmm.
that to your grave.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like she said, just like, don't tell my parents.
Hmm.
She said, my family, like, generally. So,
Hmm.
sister is still family,
Yeah.
right? And it's not her place to be, like, the friend's place to be saying anything
Hmm.
about that girl's relationship to anybody, like, anyway, right? Like,
Yeah.
especially if she's told, like, hey, I don't want that
Hmm.
around, right? Even if it wasn't about sex, if it was about, like, I don't want to say that I'm, like, dating someone. It's like it's new and I
Hmm.
just don't want to talk about it to other people yet, right?
Hmm.
That kind of thing. Anything. Anything. It wouldn't matter if she's like, don't tell them I got a paper cut yesterday.
Hmm.
Right? Like, if you ask someone not to say something, that person should not break that confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No.
I wouldn't let that person back into my life. I might hear them out for the apology and stuff and see, like, unless it's like a good apology,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would depend on the sincerity of the apology and how it's
Mhm.
worded. So, like, one thing when you're apologizing and kind of taking accountability for stuff, use a lot of I statements. That's what I tell my clients,
Mhm.
is if you're trying to express how something made you feel, like, kind of, especially if an apology, you don't want to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry you felt that way."
Exactly.
You
Because
know?
then it's like you're just apologizing that it had that effect, not that for the action that you actually did.
Mhm. Yeah. Like, if you're going to do a sincere apology, you got to be like, "I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. That was not my intention.
Hmm.
I never wanted to betray your trust or hurt you," and kind of just do it like that.
Hmm. I wonder, like, you know, fan theory over here,
Mhm.
but like, what if that friend didn't actually specifically tell the sister they're having sex?
Mhm.
What if she just like got asked the question and she was uncomfortable and was just like, I don't know, or like answered it in a way that was kind of evasive, but like she didn't expect to be asked that like outright, and the
Yeah.
sister took like read the answer off of her, right, without
Mhm.
the friend being like, yes, they are in fact having sex,
Yeah.
right? So like we don't have the full story, so I kind of wonder if there's a situation like that.
Um According to the post, her sister specifically asked her friend if she knew if the OP and her boyfriend were sleeping together.
Hmm. But we don't know for sure what the friend answered,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because sister seems like a little shit disturber, especially if she's
Mhm.
got to bring that information back to the super religious family,
Yeah.
right? Rather than like, why not just go talk to the sister, like to the
Mhm.
poster, to be like, hey, you're going away from God. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Like, we don't have any information that like
Mhm.
she tried to go
Mhm.
approach the poster first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I don't know. I'd like to know the full story kind of thing for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
But if it was anything of friend actually confirmed to sister
Mhm.
that it was true,
Yeah.
then no, no. That friend better come back with like, I will never do this again. I completely understand that this was my, like, I should not have done that.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a way that you could forgive friend here?
Huh. As someone who has not forgiven friends for betraying their trust, no.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm like, I don't know if I could.
Mhm. Because I was in a situation that you know of that I'm not going to talk about on the podcast,
Hmm.
where I had told something to someone in confidence, and then they went
Hmm.
behind my back
Yeah,
and
and
caused a
broke
whole
that
shit.
trust.
Yeah, and caused a whole shitstorm. And
Hmm.
I basically told them that I can't trust them anymore, and I will be kind of wary about what I say around them because I don't know who they're going to tell.
Yeah.
And we have not spoken in 5 years.
Mm. Yeah. I I'm the same way about trust. Like to me, I always say respect is given,
Hmm.
trust is earned,
Yes.
right? Everybody deserves respect in my opinion. I will be respectful toward
Hmm.
everybody as long as, they don't lose that. But
Yeah.
like trust to me is earned, right? I
Hmm.
don't give my trust very easily. I don't put trust in people very easily.
Yeah.
But like if you ask someone to keep something a secret or to like just not tell someone something, like how hard is it to just not disclose information,
Yeah.
right? It's not that hard. I can understand, like, maybe if this sister was grilling the friend
Mm-hmm.
and really pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, like, if someone was grilling me for information, like you told me something, let's say, and said, don't tell anybody about this,
Mm-hmm.
and let's put it the same way. Say you told me, don't tell my family X, Y, and Z, and
Mm-hmm.
then your sister was like grilling me for the information.
Mm-hmm.
I might be uncomfortable, and she might be able to figure it out based on my facial expressions or something, but it would not come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 That be some friend stories.
That'd be some friend stories.
Mm-hmm. Some
Mm-hmm.
silly.
Some a little more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Some fucking bonkers.
Yeah, some bonkers like
Mm-hmm.
jorking it to your friend while you're on the phone.
Mm-hmm. I still, he is not a catch.
He is not a catch.
The way that was written was fantastic. I
Yeah.
love it was probably not even intentionally comedic, but it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
He is not a couch. He is a Venus.
He doesn't even realize you bring a rod to fishing
No, he thinks you can just sit there with a bucket.
and wait for the fish to jump out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, pretty much.
well, where can they find us, Rachel? Where can they
So,
find us?
oh my God, you can find us everywhere. So you can find us on websites for podcasting: Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram. We're Inconsistent Podcast 1. Find us on our Facebook page. We're Inconsistently Consistent. You can also email us if you've got longer thoughts. Maybe you have some friend stories that you want to share. In our email is inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com. I almost forgot the email address. You can rate, review us, share with your friends, share with your non-friends, share with your friends that you don't think are catches. I don't know.
Send this to someone you think is a catch.
Send this to someone you think is a catch who would enjoy this. If you want to follow me specifically, you can find me on TikTok. I'm _RachelVR_. I haven't posted any. I realized the other day I haven't really posted any TikToks in a while. I should probably make some TikToks, a new TikTok at some point. I have some draft ones, but I need those ones are going to be cosplay ones because I'm going to try to get into cosplay, and I don't have the cosplay stuff yet to do it yet. It's coming. Kind of poor at the moment, you know. But yeah, Melanie, where can they find you?
You can find me at melanieflynnbooks.com. You can also find all of our links for the podcast there as well. On one of the pages, you could get the book that's out that I have written called The Toy Maker, an audiobook, an ebook, and in paperback from there. All my social links are there. Follow me online, not in person.
Yeah,
I'll take it as a threat.
don't follow us in person. We will take that as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And we will throw hands.
Yes. And other things. I'll throw bricks.
Yeah.
Just for fun, up in the air.
I'll throw
hypothetically
shoes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I won't throw them at you. I might just take my sandal off and just fucking whip it. In a general direction.
Whip it real good.
I'll whip it real good. I'll tell you what, boy. I'll whip that sandal in a general direction.
It will allegedly soar towards you.
Who knows? Maybe I'll also just whip my hair back and forth, and you'll just be very confused. Anyways, bye!
Bye!